Let's talk about the Cisco email security appliance anti-spam scanning. Okay, so when an email comes into the Cisco ESA, it's an incoming email or an outgoing email. It doesn't matter. You can actually go ahead and scan both of those emails. Like if you have an incoming email, you can scan that for anti-spam, and you can scan that through the anti-spam engine. And if you have an outgoing email, you can scan that through the anti-spam engine as well. It's completely your choice. You can have one or both, or just just for incoming, just for outgoing. It's completely your choice. And then you have the scanning that happens. When we talk about it, you have the body that gets scanned, and you have the headers and other things. It's not just that much. Based on the headers, it's able to get the IP address information of the email that came in. Okay, where did it come from, and all that stuff. So a lot of scanning takes place. It's an AI. It's pretty dynamic, and that's why at the end of the day you might get a false positive or a false negative. So that's not the end of the earth. So you just gotta relax. Okay, it's just a piece of software, and it actually does a great job when it comes to scanning the emails, and it scores them very well. Well, sometimes you may get an incorrect score. That's okay. That's why we have Cisco Attack sitting there to make sure that in case you're not okay with the results, then just open a case with them, or you can just directly get in touch with Telos. Go to telosintelligence.com and basically get that rectified. That's okay. Now, whatever email gets scanned, it's either categorized as not spam, positively identified spam, or a suspected spam. If it's not a spam, you can just let it go through. No need to panic and quarantine it or do any of that stuff. Well, obviously you won't, right? So the other thing is positively identified spam. If it is a positively identified spam, you can either quarantine it, drop it, or just let it go through. Why would you let it go through? You won't, right? So if it is a positively identified spam, do not drop it. Just a suggestion or recommendation, because if you drop it, you won't be able to recover it. If you quarantine it, on the other hand, you can go ahead and check it out if it's really a spam or not. And if it's an important email, you can just submit it again, as I mentioned, to Cisco Attack or telosintelligence.com and get it fixed from there. If it is a suspected spam, you can quarantine it again, or you can just let it pass through to the user and just append or prepend to the subject line stating that, hey, it is a suspected spam, so just be sure when you click on any links or anything on this email, just make sure you don't mess things up and just bring down the company network. Don't do that. Or just it's just an indication to the user that, okay, just be cautious. Okay, so basically I also wanted to talk about that particular, let's say there's a good email that got classified as a spam when it wasn't actually a spam, and it is actually affecting your business in a bad way, and you want to make sure that that email is not categorized as spam. So what do you do in such a case? So I'll tell you the steps. Okay, first thing, don't panic. Okay, second thing, you can contact the Cisco Attack, or you can go ahead and, if you're good with the configuration and everything, just go ahead and create a new incoming mail policy with the name of that domain in the sender, and mention that if this is a sender, this incoming mail policy should hit, and then just skip the anti-spam scanning for now, or quarantine the emails rather than dropping them. Fetch that sample. Okay, fetch that original email sample. Do not forward it to anyone or do stuff like that. Just save it and then attach it, and put it in a password protected zip file. Attach it to your email and send it over to Cisco Attack somehow. If not in that way, just attach it to the case or whatever. So provide them this information. Mention that it's a false positive. In the meanwhile, your business is also not getting impacted badly because you have already fixed that, and now you can work with the Cisco Attack to make sure that that false positive is fixed, and you can also get to know the reason as well. You can just ask them as to why it was tagged as spam.